Hi guys, thanks for joining us today for our craft for Backyard Bible Club. Now our craft today is that we'll be making these things called promise keepers, since our lesson was about keeping promises and making sure our yes means yes and our no means no, because that's what God wants us to do and what we need to do. And so for this craft, we'll be making this a fun way to help us remember to keep our promises and a fun way to remember our promises at the same time. Because sometimes we overdo ourselves with saying all these things that we'll promise or all these things we'll say yes to or no to. So I want to show you a fun way of how we can do that and be able to stay on top of that. Now, for our craft this week, these are some of the materials you'll need. The main big materials. First, you'll need a box of some sort. I have a Kleenex box because that's all I had. But you can use more than just a box. You can use maybe a cup or a bottle or anything to that extent too. And that follows the same trend of what we'll be doing for the rest of this. I just chose a box because it's easier for me to do. Now, we also have paper. Now, I have a whole stack of paper, but that's because I make mistakes a lot of the times. And I don't know about you guys, but I know I mess up a lot. And so I have a lot of paper just in case. And then on top of that, you'll probably need about 4 pieces of paper if you're doing a box to cover all 4 of the sides. And then for a bowl or for a cup or anything else like that, you can be using it to go around or find a way to make 1 or 2 pieces of paper go around it. Then you also need some scissors and some tape. And also, I don't have them with me right now, but you can also have pencils, pens, markers, crayons, anything else to decorate and make it look cool and add some nice pizzazz to it, if you want to call it that. So let's get on with the rest of this after showing you all this stuff. And also, it is on our packet that we gave to you guys, more of the instructions on that too. So just in case I miss anything on here or missed anything in general on there, this is what will help cover it. So let's begin. Now what you're going to do is, you start with your box, right? Box or bowl or whatever, and you have it with you, right? Just like how I have this one here. Then you're going to cut the pieces of paper. And you're going to try to cut them to make sure they can fit the different sides of whatever it is you are using. Bowls and bottles or cups are a lot more difficult. So for that one, you might just want to wrap around and then cut and make sure it doesn't look too awkward or anything else. And then you just cut to make sure it measures up to it. And if you need help, make sure you get the right size for it. Just put the paper next to the side of the box and you can line it up perfectly. You can get a decent enough size or a close enough size. Just like that. Now the next thing that you will do is that you will start to tape stuff onto the box. Oh, my box. You'll put the tape onto your box, and then onto the paper, like so. Again, my tape's just blue because that's what I have, but it doesn't matter what kind of tape you use either. And you just tape it to the side of it. Make sure it sticks. Just like that. And you do that until you cover all the sides of whatever it is you are using. Excuse me. Now when it's done, it should look very similar to this. Now, once you have that figured out and it's done, make sure you write on it, somewhere on it, the words Promise Keeper. They're on your packet in bold in the directions for our craft. So I'm not going to spell it out for you like I did for the last video or for anything else for our crafts because it should be on there. And if you need help, ask a parent, and they'd be awesome, or an adult to help you, and they would love to. Then after you're done with that too, you can just decorate the box on the outside and everything with the word Promise Keeper somewhere on it. And then afterwards, some of the strips of paper or some of your extra ones that you have, or any paper they have later too, write on them. You'll write onto them a promise that you have or a promise that you will keep. Like for example, let's say this said, I promise to clean my room. I'll write on it, fold it, put it in my box or bowl or cup or whatever it is, and then keep putting my promises in there. So I remember once I'm done with them, and I put them in here so I can make sure I remember that I kept my promise. And it just reminds you. And then when it gets so full of stuff, you dump it out and you can find out all the promises and remember all the ones that you've made. And think about them. Thanks, guys. Thank you for watching this and going through with this and just enjoying our craft as we go along through it. And I hope you learned something today from our lessons about our promises and how important they are and why we need to keep them. And I hope that using this promise keeper can help you remember that our yes means yes and our no means no, just like what Jesus talks about in the Bible. And that we need to make sure that we honor our word. And this is a way that can help us remind us of that and a fun way to do it. Bye, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your week.